Hello folks, and yes, I'm appearing after a while. Basically, this is still early. I thought I will come after a few more days, but today I was generally, it was a very instinctual feeling that I need to come and speak, and that's how I am. I'm an instinct person. Okay, so today I'm going to be speaking about beauty and beauty tips, or a beauty tip for that matter. So there are ample of videos on YouTube that we see wherein there are so many people giving so many beauty tips, right from your hair to your toe, right from the shape of your body to the health that you have, everything that can add to your beauty or can deteriorate your beauty. So that is perfectly all right, and that is like amazing, because yes, this is the first thing we need to cater to as humans, that the body that we have. But then there is a way to look at beauty as well. And basically, me as an individual, I have always focused on the inner part of the beauty, and that is the way you are as a human being. And whether or not people accept it or not, the way you are as an individual can clearly reflect on the way you look. So it is not, there is no format, there is no particular, yes, there is a ratio, which you say this is the beauty ratio. If you fall into that, you're supposed to be beautiful, but that's just physical. That's like the geometry of your face and your features. But apart from that, the kind of vibes you give out, the kind of a human that you are, the kind of a person that you are, your persona can add to your beauty, as in the kind of feel that they give the other person. So sometimes you might find the most ugliest looking individual loved by lots and lots and lots of human beings, and you keep wondering that what is so much special in this person. I mean, he or she doesn't even look that good, and he or she is so average, but there is something so special because that person has been so human, that person has been so good to people, that person has the most beautiful heart. And that's where the essence of beauty lies. Now that's what I believe in. Okay, I mean, of course, whatever I'm saying, it's you're no one's compelled to believe that, but I am here to speak what I believe in. That's just not because I believe in it, but because I've experienced that also. So I have noticed that, in as a child, I used to, maybe all as children are a little mean and a little selfish, and I as an individual was extremely outspoken and blunt as well. So many a times I used to indulge into fights, and whenever we indulge into fights and arguments, the primary motive is to win. We don't even want to see if we are right or wrong. Winning is the motive. So in any argument between two people, you see, it could be any two people, you want to win because that adds to your ego. As we start growing, ego plays a very dominant role in our lives. So naturally, when I use just for winning the argument, I used to say a lot of things to people which would just put them down, which would just put their morals down, and they would keep their mouth shut. And I would get a pseudo feeling that, wow, I have won this argument. I have won against this person. And in the whole process, what happens is, when you feel that pseudo ego of yours shoot it up, you tend to do this behavior more often with lot of people, and that becomes your personality. So this is what kept happening to me, and I started feeling so ugly. In spite of looking averagely okay, I started feeling so ugly from within that automatically my self-esteem just dropped down. And I remember, at my peak youth, I used to not consider myself as good looking at all. And there were people who would come and give me compliments, and I would feel that, okay, he or she is just being nice to me. Because I know I don't look good. Now, where was that feeling coming from, that I don't look good? Of course, there were many other things that were adding to it. And people were, when you have nagging at home, or when someone keeps on telling you certain things and wronging you, those things add on to it. But the main factor was my self-image. It is the way I look at myself. So I started looking at myself as this person who has been putting down other people only for winning, and only for feeling that pseudo pride within myself. And this I did not realize back then, did not realize in that particular phase of my life. And then it started becoming so that whenever I used to indulge into any fights and arguments, in spite of winning the argument, I used to end up crying and I used to end up feeling bad, thinking that how could I say certain things like these. Of course, I was never a physical person to physically assault or hit or harm anybody. But yes, verbally, my words were even stronger than probably any weapon that could harm someone. It could be that damaging, and it has been damaging. So I have done that. I mean, I'll accept it. So I'm someone who can accept my flaws openly on this social media as well. And why it is so convincing for me to tell you all using my own example is because I know that has happened. The transformation has happened because I have experienced something like that. And eventually, I understand. When I was doing introspection, that is, in my mid-30s, I started doing introspection about myself because there were a lot of things in me I thought I needed to work on, and I started working on those things. So, the moment I started working on those, I realized that what the hell am I doing? Why am I even having this particular need to prove somebody wrong or to prove somebody not correct or whatever it is. So of course this took a long time. Even today there are certain core elements which I believe in, and if some people don't agree to it, I want to make them understand that, boss, what you're doing is wrong. So for example, if someone's lying outrightly, not that I never lie in life and not that I've never lied in life, but when you lie for any stupid reason and it becomes a habit, I actually want to point that out to somebody that, look, boss, what you're doing is wrong. And honestly, that's none of my business. I mean, I shouldn't be really doing it, but it happens. So I'm still working on this part of mine that I don't have to really do it, but I'm still doing it. The thing is, when you start interfering or when you start making others believe in what you believe, you are kind of upset. I mean, you kind of start getting this feeling that, okay, why is he or she not thinking like me? Because we all consider ourselves as the most virtuous beings, and we feel the other person, what he or she is doing is a very sinful thing, or it's not correct, it's not human, etc. But I think that's that individual responsibility, right? Like, we need to just put this onto that individual to think and decide for himself or herself. And eventually, so I am at that stage. So when I started working on myself and I started realizing, and I started giving people this very, very okay response that, okay, boss, you're right. And I remember there was once this a random person just came up and started commenting on my post and said, you don't understand anything. What do you think? You're very intelligent, this and that. And I was shocked, that I said, how can somebody randomly come and start attacking me like that? So naturally, there are two emotions that were going on in my mind. One was like, who the hell is this person? So it was maybe a little fear and a huge ego that, that both started getting activated. And I wanted to respond back. I wanted to just give it back. But then I said, what's the use? I don't even know this person. And even if I know this person, I mean, why on earth? I'm not going to be able to change this person's perception. So I just said, okay, boss, I never really meant to hurt your emotions and sentiments. This was what I believed, and thus I shared on my social media platform. You are free to see it or not to see it. So just see it or leave it. And if it's hurt you, I'm sorry. So it was that back then, at that point in time, it became very easy for me to apologize, not for the heck of it, but I meant it. That, okay, because I didn't mean to hurt someone, but when that happens, I started apologizing. And probably people don't come and acknowledge that, but I guess when you satisfy people's ego like that, at that level, and when you make them feel that, boss, okay, you are right and probably I'm not, somewhere they are calmed down. And when they are calmed down, the kind of vibe that comes out, it calms you down as well. So this calming effect that we have on ourselves, with each episode like that gives that calmness on your face, the calmness in your persona, the calmness in your vibes, and that adds to your beauty. In fact, you will observe, so there are many times when you look at these saints and all, probably they don't even groom themselves, but there is an element of peace when you approach them. There is this serenity when you go near them. You want to just sit in their company because the vibes that comes out of them is of a different level. and you keep wondering that what is so special in this person, that that person is not groomed, that person is not wearing fancy clothes, but there is something in that person, so that the divinity, the virtue that these people have got into them by their own introspection, by understanding their own flaws, is probably giving out that vibe. That's what's attracting a lot of people towards them. And this is, I think, we all want to be loved by people, we all want to be liked by people. But then, so what are we all doing? We are all making those quick measures of wearing something, putting on makeup, and probably grooming yourself to that level, and maybe just giving those kind of pictures to people, and I don't having those big talks and good ethical, moral, virtuous, intelligent talks, and attracting people that, okay, he or she seems to be a person of substance, and looks beneficial to me, and we kind of get attracted. But that's so temporary, and that's so superficial. It's not going to last for long, and at the end of the day, the feel that we have from that whole episode is not calming, is not giving you that extra high. So the beauty, so there is this quote, a very famous quote, and my all-time favorite quote: beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So have you ever noticed that a mother will never find her children ugly, or the children will never find their moms ugly? Why? Because there is so much of love. Similarly, when you love someone with all yourself, you never find that person ugly. You find that person good looking all the time, because you're so much in love that you are not even looking at that person's physical aspect. There is a very deep connection to that person, that that's holding you to them. And this is where I feel that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, and these are the mental eyes. These are the eyes that, with the mental vision, when you see a person. And mental vision is all about purity, divinity, and the human qualities that we have in ourselves. So, even if you want to be loved by strangers, if you have a human quality within you, you are definitely going to be loved, adored, and you're going to be liked by so many people that you can't even think of. It's like beyond your imagination. And of course, I haven't really been doing this to attract people, but the inner peace matters to all of us. And from the time I started doing that, I started liking myself and loving myself more. And the result was, when you start loving and liking yourself more, people around like you even more than you expected. So I remember I saw Kajol's interview, and she was asked by one of the audience, in that interview, that, ma'am, how come you have maintained yourself, or in fact you still look so pretty. So that was, I think, how do you maintain that? So Kajol said that, to me, beauty when I was in my 20s was something that was never a compliment. She said, I thought only foolish girls look pretty, intelligent girls don't look pretty. And that was a statement that really hit me. But she said that somehow, after she delivered her baby, one day she was just standing in front of the mirror, and she just happened to tell herself, damn, I'm so good looking. And I think that whole conviction of feeling the beauty from within got the glow into her. Of course, I mean, we all do some or the other cosmetic treatments and some or the other makeup that has been done to carry ourselves well. But the feel of you feeling beautiful can also send out those vibes to other people. So she said that when you love yourself, people automatically start loving yourself. So self-love is something that adds to your beauty. The human quality adds to your beauty. So I think I've really exceeded a lot today, but I hope you liked this video. Tell me your definition of beauty. Tell me how you feel yourself beautiful. When have you felt yourself that you were pretty? And when have you really felt that you were really, really ugly? I would love to hear from you all. Kindly subscribe, share, and like the channel if you've liked this video. Thank you so much.